let's move on to the next spot. Next up, Jaguars, Texans. The 1-3 Jags going into the 0-4 Texans, and the Bill O'Brien era finally ends. And good thing. And it has to be the Hopkins trade that was just like, come on. Just because you don't like the guy, you don't have to like everybody. Stop trying to make friends. Coach a football team and manage it appropriately. Jags, Texans, we are getting Houston opening up at -7. That's down to -6 across the board. There is 1 6.5 at plus money. This total sitting at 54. Minshew goes 27 for 40 for 351 yards and 2 touchdowns, and they lose easily. They handily. They got beaten badly by Cincinnati, and he goes for 351 yards. James Robinson runs 17 times for 75 yards. Shark, 8 catches for 95 yards. Chanot, 5 catches for 86 yards. But their defense allows 505 yards. Awful. Cornerback C.J. Henderson leaves the game in the first half with a shoulder injury, doesn't return. Jack leaves with an ankle injury in the first half, ruled out. Eifert, concussion. Hayden, their cornerback, left in the second half and didn't return. Offensive tackle Cam Robinson out with a knee injury, but the MRI came back negative. Center Brandon Linder is questionable. And we have Houston's NFL worst run defense giving up 162 yards. Dalvin Cook is mighty, but still, they just can't stop anything. Watson throws for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Fuller, 108 yards and a touchdown. David Johnson runs 16 times for 63 yards. And then tight end Akins, concussion. You have Peter Kalambayi, the linebacker, hurt. Colin Gillespie hurt, their fullback. Not a ton of injuries. Jaguars, Texans, Bill O'Brien period over. Do you think Houston shows how much they hated him by stepping up this week?
I think there's a chance. There is a very good chance that they step up with him out this week. I think, man, they had to have hated him so much that it's such an ignorant move to trade away a player of that caliber just because you don't like him. Like, get your shit together. Stop being a baby. Act like an adult. Sort that out and keep Hopkins. And if you are going to move him, get something in return. Bill O'Brien has left this team in shambles. They've got no picks for next year. They're up against the cap, and they just don't have the talent to. Any other team that's this hard up against the cap shouldn't be 0-4. So, yeah, I'd like to think this team can rally and actually play. I feel like there's a chance that they were just playing, what consciously or subconsciously playing to get him fired. Now, I don't know if Romeo Crennel is going to be the answer. I hear players like him, but it's not like he did well as a head coach in Cleveland. So it's a sit back and watch play for me. It's tempting to take the Jags and the points here just because I've loved the Jags being dogs this year. It's just we don't know what to expect right now out of Houston. There could be a big turnaround point for them, or they could continue to be terrible all year. I'm not really sure.
I think, and I agree with Dan, that Romeo Crennel is a guy I believe in and trust. And look at this situation that Bet365 is offering. I'm going to take this. There's no doubt in my mind. -3 first half and -115. Why not? I mean, it was very interesting hearing the players talk. And by players, I mean JJ and Deshaun. They both were like, I'm not going to let this get in the way. And what was this? They kept saying they're being vague. They were like, I'm going to come to the field and I'm going to do my best to succeed. They're making these statements that I'm not going to let something get in the way of us fighting the good fight. And what they were saying was, I'm not going to let this asshole Bill O'Brien, who's been ruining us for 6 years, stop me from coming to the field with fight and joy and trying to get wins for this football club. So Texans, first half, -3 and -115. I love it. I love it. I'm in. And then from a total perspective, Bebsy, first half is at 27, and the full game is at 54 or 54 and a half. Is this too tricky of a, to forecast the final score because of the coaching change?
Yeah, I think so. But then again, we've established time and again that I'm a coward and a conservative bettor, and you like to play fast and loose. You're a wild man, and I respect that about you. But for me, it's a sit back and watch how this Texans team responds. Like, to me, with Crennel at the helm, this is a whole new Texans team. I still think they're in a world of trouble, and I do not envy anybody who's coaching for them or gets into that GM role, because as soon as you get in there, the first thing you got to do is find out a way to get some picks back, find out a way to get some youth into that locker room. That I don't know. It's an ugly position for me. I'm not interested at all. It's a sit back and watch. I admire that you want to jump on something here, but yes, Mr. Fun, I am a coward and I will not be pushed around. But there's no play for me, Jimmy, and I respect and love that you're jumping on this. But I gotta sit back and watch and just see how much this Texans team. I believe they'll be better, because I said from the start of the year this team is not going to play for Bill O'Brien, and they did not. But this week I'm going to sit back and see what Romeo does. I like Romeo. I want him to succeed. I hope he does well.
I like this look a lot. Mr. saying both teams, a lot of players on the injury report. The injury report I looked at the Texans was pretty clean. Pretty clean. I mean, they don't have that as an excuse. I love it. This is I'll look at everything again, but I love this Texans first half -3.